Hello and welcome to today's video. This is my November TBR and we are once again back to playing the Snakes and Ladders TBR game. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of missed it last month. Things to talk about quickly about the game. If you've never been here before, it's Snakes and Ladders. We have 1 to 100. We roll an 8-sided die. We use a little counter piece, which this month is a little dinosaur, and we basically just move around. Each colour corresponds to a type of prompt. We pick up a prompt card with the same colour and we get a prompt to use. Land on a snake, you go down the snake and add a roll. Land on a ladder, you go up the ladder and minus a roll. I don't think you need to know anything else. What you do need to know is I'm running out of cards. I really need to do a big card refresh, but I'm basically just waiting until the end of the year as we are so close now. So there are times in this video, because I have already done the rolls, where we run out of cards and I'll just use a random prompt generator on my phone. So yeah, just that is where we've got some of those prompts from, is I ran out of cards for that specific prompt, so we've just gone with a random prompt generator. So that's all you really need to know about the game. Now, what are my reading plans for this month? I am kind of like taking part in a readathon. Like, okay, I'm taking part in a readathon, but I'm not doing any planning for it basically. So the Blooming readathon is back for November, which is a month-long readathon where it's like a bingo board. I'd have shoved it in here by now, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a bingo board basically, and you try and fill the bingo board or get as many bingos as possible. I'm not planning this out, I just, any books that aren't on my TBR that I end up picking up, so any of the books I don't talk about today that I pick up, essentially any of these behind me, I will try my best to make sure that they are a part of the board. But also, like, there's a lot of prompts, there's a lot of ways to interpret prompts. I haven't gone through and looked at how the books I've picked out will fit in, but I'm sure that the large majority of them will fit in just because the amount of prompts, and it's more of a chill, laid back readathon that I just really enjoy taking part in. I took part last year. I think I only got 1 or 2 bingos, but it was fun, and that's what I'm there for. So yes, that is that one. And then the other one is I am filming this still with more than 10 days left of October. I think we've got 13 days of October left, so I don't know if I'm going to get to this book in October or in November, but just a quick mention that our book club book for the months of October and November is Strong Female Character by Fern Brady. I think I'm probably going to end up reading it in November. I haven't picked it for this, like I don't know when I'm going to get to it, so it's just, yeah, another thing, another, like, in the back of my mind, I need to do this. This is a reading plan happening, is Strong Female Character. Strong Female Character will be read, and at some point early December there will be a video or a live stream for it. So that is my other reading plan that is down. Now, I think that is all of my reading plans that are outside of playing the game. So it's now time to get the board out and do our first roll. Okay, so we're starting off on square number 15, which is where we left off last time. My cards are very depleted. I need to go through all the books I've read and make sure I haven't left one in there. We only have 1 other card, and we don't have many type cards left. I'm just going to hope for the best. I will add more cards to it soon, but for right now we're just gonna keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. So let's just do roll number 1, starting at number 15, and let's roll. So that is a 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 22, which is green, which is other, which is our final other card somehow. Let's flip it over. A book that has been on my TBR the longest for roll number 1. So, as you just saw, the first roll was to pick a book that's been on my TBR the longest. Now, I decided to go to my spreadsheet, which is not to date, but that didn't matter for this. Essentially, on this spreadsheet, I put the year I got the books, and as of right now, there are still 47 books on the spreadsheet that are marked as before 2021. So I just decided I'd pick one of those books, and the book I've decided to go for is The Hobbit. I don't know, this seems like an autumnal book. I don't know, I haven't read it, obviously, that's why it's in this video. But I've really wanted to read this for a long time. I've owned it a long time, like I owned it previous to 2021, which is when I started tracking the books that were coming in and out. And I haven't got to it yet, so yeah, I think The Hobbit is what I'm going to pick up. I somehow know next to nothing about this. When I was a kid, I watched the Lord of the Rings films, but when the Hobbit films came out, I never watched them. Like, I was like, no, like, I'm a book person now, I want to read it, and I've just never got around to it. So yeah, I am excited, I'm intrigued, I don't know what to expect. Looks like we've got notes on the text, there's whole other languages. But I have heard that The Hobbit is very much a book that could be read and enjoyed by children, whereas Lord of the Rings is more high fantasy. So I'm hoping that The Hobbit will be a bit easier to get into and maybe propel me forwards into this world and want to learn more and keep reading. But I don't know, that is everything. On the back we've got Smug certainly looked fast asleep when Bilbo peeped once more from the entrance. He was just about to step out onto the floor when he caught a sudden thin ray of red from under the drooping lid of Smug's left eye. He was only pretending to be asleep. He was watching the tunnel entrance. Whisked away from his comfortable, unambitious life in his hobbit hole in Bag End by Gandalf the Wizard and the company of dwarves, Bilbo Baggins finds himself caught up in a plot to raid the treasure hoard of Smug the Magnificent, a large and very dangerous dragon. I know, it sounds like fun. I think I'm going to enjoy it. Okay, roll number 2. We've got a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 28, which is purple, which is visual. So our top visual card is an element on the cover. Element on the cover for roll number 2. Then roll number 2, we got element on the cover. And I'm actually really impressed with myself because I've managed to get a book on my TBR that I'm really anticipating. And I think I'm probably going to do a whole video on it. So expect that to be coming like November, December time. I will get it recorded in November and we'll see when it gets up. But that book is forthing. I've heard a lot about this. I'm trying to set my expectations realistically, but I think I'm going to enjoy it. Everyone seems to be enjoying this. The reason I feel like I might not is because one thing that I've heard is not to expect loads of amazing fantasy from it. This is a fantasy book to get already romance readers into fantasy. So for that reason, I'm a bit like, oh, am I going to enjoy it? But I enjoy fantasy. I enjoy fantasy romance. So chances are I will enjoy it, but I am trying to set my expectations realistically. But this is so hyped, so many people are reading it, so many people love it. Like, there was literally like a shortage of these books. People couldn't get them at one point this year. So yeah, I picked it up and I'm really excited about it. I want to see what the hype is about. Like, a lot of book series I don't pick up straight away because I do prefer paperbacks to hardbacks. But I decided there's still so much hype about this, so many months after it came out, it's going to be worth me just getting the hardback. I think it was still a fair few months till the paperback came out. I think the paperback's coming out in May or something. So I decided to go for it, get the hardback and see what the hype is about. See if it lives up to the hype for me, see what I'm missing out on, and I'm going to make a whole video on it. I know next to nothing about this, and I don't want to read the synopsis, I don't think. What I know is we have a main character who wants to be a scribe, but whose mom is not okay with that and signs her up to take part in training to become a dragon rider. And this main character is not like set out, not built how traditional dragon riders are, and if you don't end up getting chosen by a dragon, you end up getting killed, I think, or something like that. So essentially, when you sign up to be a dragon rider, you either pass or you die. And that is our main character needs to go through that. Yeah, apparently there's a romance, apparently there's dragons. I'm down to figure out if this is a good time or not. Roll number 3. We've got a 2, so 1, 2. I really don't know what to do. You know what? I'm on my phone anyway. Random reading from a genre you don't usually read. That is what we're gonna go for Then roll number 3, we got on other again. Obviously I don't have any other cards left. I don't know where they are. They've got to be somewhere. They must be in books that I've read. But yeah, I ended up doing a random prompt generator, and the prompt that we got was a genre you don't usually read. And for that I'm going with horror, because I don't read a lot of horror. So yeah, we're going to go for Horror Store, which is another book I'm really excited about and might get its own video. I don't know. I've always imagined starting this book in IKEA, because it's set out like an IKEA store and like an IKEA catalogue, which I assume must be a thing wherever the author is from. In the UK we don't get IKEA catalogues, so yeah. Or is it an instruction manual maybe? I don't know. We don't get it like this. It doesn't look like this in the UK. But yeah, I'm very excited, very intrigued. So yeah, I mean, we sat in front of the IKEA mini bookcases. Most furniture in the office is from IKEA, so you know, I'll use it. We definitely go there. I love the little vegan meat balls, and you can swap it for chips. And the sauce is shit. You always say no to the sauce. But yeah, basically, I like IKEA. I think it'd be fun to go and start this book in IKEA and give it a good read. And if I do manage to plan that out and do it successfully, I might make a video about it. So yeah, there we go. Horror Store. It's IKEA, but it's haunted, question mark. There's a mystery, a traditional haunted house story in a furry contemporary setting. So yeah, haunted IKEA, seems good to me. Let's give it a go. Let's roll number 4. Is it a 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 36, which is orange, which is type. The top type card is non-human main character. So that's non-human main character for roll number 4. Roll number 4, we got non-human main character, which you can't read very well, but that's what it says, I promise. And for this, I'm going for book 2 of a series that I really enjoyed the first one of. Like, it might be able to make it into the top books of 2023. I haven't started looking and narrowing that down yet, but like, I feel like it's one of those where it's like, oh, like this could make it if it's not knocked down by like the perfect books. Just depends on how many of those there are. But yeah, the second book in that series is called Haven, and this is book 2 of the Broken Wings duet. I read book 1 earlier this year and absolutely loved it and knew I needed to continue on, so I got book 2. This is about 2 characters. One of them I think is human, but the other one is an airy, which is definitely not human. I don't want to give spoilers. In book 1 we don't look into that too much, right? So I can't tell you in this world exactly how the airy are and how they like relate to other creatures, but they definitely are. Like, as you can see by the cover, one of our 2 main characters has wings growing from their back, so it definitely works for this prompt. Obviously I can't tell you anything about this because it's book 2. Book 1 was great. It was so fun. It is enemies to maybe lovers. We don't really know where we left off in book 1, but that feels like the trope we're following. And they're essentially enemies because they have to be. Like, one of them is a prisoner and one of them is the new warden. Like, they are set out to be that way, right? But it's very much about these characters both learning about themselves and learning about each other, and you know, their interactions with each other, but also with the friends that they make along the way. And it's a really lovely book. I really enjoyed book 1 and I can't wait to see where book 2 leaves us, because book 1 ended on a bit of a cliffhanger and I definitely need to pick this up, and I'm really glad I managed to fit it into an official TBR because I did not know when I was going to be able to. Okay, roll number 5. We've got a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I guess once again we will go for random reading prompt. Under 250 pages for roll number 5, which should be other, but we've run out. Then we have roll number 5. Again, we ended up having to use a random prompt generator for this. I will find my other cards. I'm going to have to find some of them before next month because we can't go into a month with none. But the random prompt generator got us under 250 pages. For this, I decided to go with A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. I've just been really wanting to actually get through a lot of the Shakespeare plays this year. I think I've read 2 so far. Yeah, I think I've read 2 so far, but 3 in total in my life. 2 this year, and then I've read Romeo and Juliet before, but not since school, so I've currently got it on my unread TBR, even though I've technically read it, because like, I just don't remember it well enough to take it down. But yeah, A Midsummer Night's Dream, it sounds good. I don't know too much about it. I don't need to know much about it going in. I am trying to understand plays and how plays are wrote and that type of media and book a bit more. So I'm just trying to get through as much Shakespeare as possible because that's like the most famous. If you have any more like modern day contemporary stuff like this, then do let me know, because I would be interested in it, because I do struggle with the writing style with Shakespeare. Like the writing style, I do often have to like Google what this phrase means, what this thing means and all that. So yeah, if you have recommendations, do let me know. But for now, Midsummer Night's Dream is for roll number 5. Yeah. Okay, and then roll number 6 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, to the bottom of the snake. We are back down to 16, and we also need to add a roll, so we will maybe do 7 rolls. But at the bottom of the snake is 16, and that is pink. Pink is genre-ish, and at the top of our genre-ish is sci-fi. Okay, we can do sci-fi. Right, roll number 6 is sci-fi. Again, one that you can't see. I need to sort these cards out. They will be sorted out for next year. We have sci-fi. I have finished in October Illuminae. I decided to just go for it, continue on with series straight away, and pick up Gemina, I think is how it's pronounced. But this is the second book in the Illuminae series. I'm excited about it. It's definitely sci-fi. It's a really fun sci-fi. They are all written in like a non-traditional format, so it's all like reports and messages, and in the first one we had like surveillance footage descriptions and emails, yeah, like pictures. I don't know, there's a lot of fun looking stuff, and it's written in a very interesting way. I don't want to potentially give spoilers, but I'll just flip through a few random pages in the first little bit of it. Hopefully that gave you an idea of the way that it is written. And yeah, I know next to nothing about this one. I do know that we are following different characters from book 1 by the sounds of it, but I don't know if reading the back would give spoilers to book 1 or not, so I'm not going to read the back. I'm not going to worry about it. In book 1 we follow our main character Katie. In book 2 it looks like we're following a main character called Hannah, so I assume it's different. Nope. Okay, I'm glad I didn't read the back because it does say stuff about book 1. So we are following different characters, but we are carrying on with the events after book 1 ended. So yeah, really excited, really intrigued, want to find out more about what's happening. Okay, hopefully our final roll number 7 is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 24, which is purple. Purple is visual, and that is a person on the cover. And then of course we did get that one double, so it means that we ended up doing 7 rolls rather than 6. So for roll number 7 we got person on the cover. So for this I ended up managing to fit another new wish release that I'm really excited for, and that is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. As you can see right in the centre here, there is a person on the cover, so it fits the prompt. This is a new series by Chloe Gong. I've absolutely loved all of the Shanghai ones. I'm hoping by the time you're seeing this that I'll have managed to purchase and read Valhart Huntsman, although I don't really know, to be fair. But essentially the Shanghai books are now over. The final book has come out since the last time I went to a bookshop, so the next time I go to the bookshop I plan on getting it and reading it, and that'll be the end of that series. But this is a new series, and I believe it's an adult series as well rather than young adult. I'm really intrigued about it. I really want to know more. It looks like it's a deadly game where you can jump between bodies for a chance to fight to the death, and it's also an Anthony and Cleopatra retelling, which again is one that I haven't read, but that hasn't stopped me from enjoying the other series by Chloe Young, so I assume I will also still be able to enjoy this even if I'm not familiar with the original content. So yeah, really intrigued, really want to read it, really want to have a good time with it. I don't want to go in knowing much because I'm essentially picking this up more from faith in the author than anything else. So yeah, that is the final book of the TBR, Immortal Longings. So those are all the books that we've ended up picking for the day. These are all the books that I'm hoping to read in November. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that we manage to. I don't know, I've been having pretty good reading months so far in the last, you know, quarter, 2 quarters of the year, whatever it is. So I am hopeful that I'll be able to read these. I am thinking for next year, which I know is still a couple of months away when you're seeing this, but I'm starting to get the thoughts going in my head. I'm thinking of introducing punishments and rewards for if I complete the previous month's TBR or if I don't complete it. So if you do have any ideas for punishments or rewards that I could include, I'm just thinking, you know, like nothing actually nasty, like reading I still want to be enjoyable, but you know, like a punishment could be like add an extra roll in, something like that, like, oh, like you didn't complete last month, well let's make it harder for you to keep going, like sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know exactly yet, but I think that that will help me be motivated to actually stick to my TBR, so it's something I'm thinking of doing. But yeah, not really related to today's video, but I do really hope that you've enjoyed it. Do give the video a like if you liked it, subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye! Say hello, Jafar.